All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Julia, and I am the Admin Assistant this year at the Forest City Film Festival. And I am joined with the lovely.
Lydia, I'm Youth Film Festival Coordinator. We're so excited to be here today. I hope everyone is doing well.
Yes, we are so excited. The festival officially starts 5 days from now, this Saturday night. And it's so crazy because we've been working behind the scenes with the fantastic team. We're so excited to see the festival come to life.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see everything come together. And today we're going to talk about some of our favorites in the narrative category this year. And we know we're on a time limit and there's so many amazing films out there. So we are just going to talk about a few today. But everyone should come out and see all the films at the festival starting this Saturday.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Yeah, so the first film we're going to talk about is called From the Vine, and it's directed by Sean Cisterna. And the Southwestern Ontario connection is the author, Ken Cancellara, has a house in Collingwood, and he wrote the novel there.
Yes, so From the Vine is inspired by the novel Finding Marco, which Ken wrote up in Collingwood. And I think this film is a really family-friendly film. It is about this businessman that kind of loses himself and goes back to his roots in Italy. And while he's there, he brings together, his small Italian community, and he rekindles the broken relationship that he has with his family. I thought it was a really heartwarming film. I really enjoyed every second of it. What about you?
I really did. I thought it was so sweet. It's such a feel-good movie. It's shot beautifully, and it's something you can sit down and watch with your whole family. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you join us live on October 24th at 6:30 p.m. to watch and participate in our live Q&A with Sean.
Yes, it's going to be great, so definitely make sure to mark that off on your calendar. So the next film that we wanted to talk about today is a short narrative called The Beach Raiders. And so it's directed by Tyson Brewer, who is actually an alumni of the Forest City Film Festival. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the film, Lydia?
Yeah, so this film is completely shot in Grand Bend, which is so amazing to see. I spent a lot of time in Grand Bend, so it's really nostalgic for me. I really love seeing all of the locations that they shot there. And the film is basically about these two teenagers that are just trying to squeeze the last bit of summer out. And they just have so much fun. And I was really sad when it was over. I feel like it could be a feature film.
Definitely.
It went by so quickly. It was
so fun to watch, and I really enjoyed every second of it. I really did love this short film, and I agree with you. I was sad when it was over, and so I think a feature film would be a great idea. It's just like it's every teenager's dream summer is having this huge adventure with their friends and making the most out of it and making these lifelong memories. I think the film did a really great job of portraying that. So I think everybody should definitely go and check it out. It is streaming on October 24th at 6:30, actually right before From the Vine, which we just talked about.
Yeah, so don't miss it.
Yeah.
The next film we're going to talk about is called The Cuban, directed by Sergio Navarrete. And it's mostly shot in Brantford, which is the main Southwestern Ontario connection.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I think that's actually really, really cool. And I honestly, if I'm being truthful, I think this is my favorite film of the festival. It is about this young girl named Mina who forms a really strong and friendship with this nursing home resident who actually has dementia. And this friendship reignites Mina's own love for music and as well reminds this resident of their past in Cuba. And I honestly thought it was extremely heartwarming. I really loved seeing the development of the friendship and what it was going to bring for each of them. I was just drawn in, and I just honestly, I really can't even express it, which is why everybody should just buy their tickets and go and see it for themselves.
For sure. You don't want to miss it, and we don't want to give anything away, but it must be. And The Cuban is going to be our first feature of the festival, so make sure you come and watch on October 18th at 6:15 p.m.
Yes, and another great feature that we actually have at the festival this year is A Perfect Plan, and this is directed by Jesse Eichman. And so tell us a little bit about this film and what you liked about it.
So, The Perfect Plan. This film really had me hooked from the beginning. It's an action film, but it's character driven. It's all about the characters, which I love films like that. And the story was very original. It was very cool. It had an intriguing start. You just find all of these criminals have been brought together to, solve this one task. And it kind of has you hooked from the beginning.
It really does. I think the exact same thing as you. I was drawn in right from the get-go, and all I wanted to do was see what the result of the film was, like what was going to happen. And so I think throughout the film, I was actually just drawn in even more, which I didn't even know was possible. I definitely really, really enjoyed that film. And a really cool fact, the Southwestern Ontario connection of that is Jeff Hart, one of the writers on the film, is actually from London, and the majority of the film was actually shot in Hamilton.
Which is so cool to see all these shots that you've seen before in regular day-to-day on screen. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So this film is streaming with us on October 24th at 9 p.m. So make sure to mark it off on your calendar to see this great action film.
Don't miss it. So the next film we're going to talk about is called The River You Step In, directed by John Michelson. The main Southwestern Ontario connection is Astrid Van Wieren is the co-producer, co-writer, and lead actor in the film. And they are from London, Ontario. And also Claire Burns, who is a key cast member, is also from London. And several other cast and crew members are from St. Catharines and Niagara Falls. So a lot of Southwestern Ontario connection in this one.
Yes, it's really great to see. I really do love that about the film. And I also really like that this film touches on really important life situations such as domestic violence, addiction, suicide, and having a really strong support system behind you. Despite the main character who is a social worker, she kind of has the difficulty of defining the line of professional and personal. I really think that it's important to see, and it's really interesting to see these characters work through these really difficult situations and kind of find their footing again and try to find who they really are.
Yeah, I totally agree. This film it's really good, and it's a great representation of how difficult it is to separate, professional from personal when you work with people that closely. It's just a really great film, and it's a must-see. So it'll be streaming on October 22nd at 9 p.m., so mark it off your calendar. And you'll get to join a fantastic Q&A with director John Michelson and Astrid Van Wieren, who is a London native and also stars in the hit Canadian musical Come From Away.
Yes, which is a great musical, but we're going to stick to the films and not get into that. So the next film that we wanted to talk about was The Sound of Painting, which was directed by Josh Littman and Leopold Wolf. And Josh and Alex DiCarlo are both from London. Actually, sorry, correction. No, they are from London. And they attended post-secondary programs here in London. And Josh is actually an alumni of the festival, so we're really happy to have him back this year. So I'm just going to say a little bit about the film. I really, really enjoyed this short film. It's really upbeat, and I think the storyline is really original. There's great character development throughout the story, and I think this is the biggest plot twist of the festival. Is in this film. Would you say so?
Yes, I totally agree. It's a must-see just because of the big twist at the end. My jaw was on the floor. I couldn't believe it. And it's not something that you expect. It was just a really cool twist at the end. And this short film is actually paired with The Cuban. So don't miss it. It'll be airing before The Cuban. So join us on October 18th at 6:15 p.m. and don't miss it.
Yes, and a little fun fact about this film was it was actually shot in Paris.
Which is great. Who doesn't want to see shots of Paris?
Just another reason to come.
Yeah. So the next film we're going to talk about is a short film called Little Red, and it's directed by Jacqueline Shee. The Southwestern Ontario connection is that she's actually enrolled in Western right now.
Yes, in film studies, which is a very cool program. And so this film actually doesn't have any actors in it. The setting actually drives the story. So there's a narration over top of the multiple shots of this house, and it beautifully depicts the life of an immigrant. So there's really crisp cinematography and there's seamless editing, and I think it does a beautiful job of sharing the story of someone's life who happens to be an immigrant.
Yeah, the film has also done really well for itself. It's collected quite a few achievements, and it's actually been at the Real Asian Film Festival. So Little Red will be part of our shorts program on October 21st at 10 a.m., so don't miss it.
Yes, you should definitely be there. There's some amazing short films alongside Little Red.
Yeah, for sure. So the next film we're going to talk about is called That Is All, directed by Mark Whedon. And the major Southwestern Ontario connection here is that Mark Whedon actually went to Wilfrid Laurier University.
Yes, which is really, really cool. And this film follows a man named Ryan, who I would say is somewhat lonely and trying to find himself. And throughout the film, you see him experience different situations and meeting new people, and he kind of finds himself and is coming to terms with who he is. But you have a really cool fun fact about this film, so share that.
I do. I actually know one of the leading actors, and that's another Southwestern Ontario connection. One of the lead actors grew up in London. So I actually went to school with him, and his sister is a dear friend of mine. So we're all really excited that his first feature film is going to be airing at the festival this year. So don't miss it. It's his first feature film, and it'll be streamed on October 24th at 3 p.m.
Yes, and everybody here at the festival is also very excited to be streaming this film this year. And so we have our last film that we're going to talk about today. It is called Your Mother and I. It is directed by Andy Reid. And so the Southwestern Ontario connection for this film is the producer, Francie Dimitrowska, grew up in London. So tell us a little bit about what this story is, Lydia.
Yeah, so this film centers around two kids, and one of them finds out that his parents are getting a divorce. And from then on, we kind of get this wonderful story about his endearing imagination and trying to deal and come to terms with this shocking news. And the two kids that are in this film, Miley and Reese, completely steal the show. They are so talented. Their chemistry is great. They really make the film, and it's a cute movie that you don't want to miss.
I 100% agree with you. They did a phenomenal job. And I really think despite this being a narrative film, the situation of children experiencing their parents getting divorced happens quite a bit. And I think it was very intriguing from a person. I haven't personally experienced that, but I think it was really interesting to see how children do face the denial of this unwanted reality happening, and how they kind of come to terms with it since it's out of their control. So I definitely think that it was a very, very, very well done short film, and I really did enjoy watching it. Yeah. So yeah, that is all for the films that we are able to talk about today. And so as I mentioned at the beginning of this live, if you hadn't joined us then, the festival is now officially only 5 days away. So it starts this Saturday with our music video night, which is really, really exciting. That is new this year. So make sure to keep an eye out on our social medias, just to keep up to date and to hear from other team members throughout the week, such as Dorothy Downs, the executive director.
Yeah, so make sure you head over to our website, FCFF.ca, to buy your tickets. And you can also explore all of the films and the industry sessions we have this year. So yeah, go to our website, FCFF.ca, and peruse.
Yes, there are great films this year, and there are also amazing industry sessions that people will not want to miss out on. And so also, just a little fun fact about FCFF, we really believe in filmmakers being compensated for their work that is being shown at our festival. So a part of the percentage of sales for each filmmaker's screening will actually go back to the filmmakers. So when people purchase tickets, part of that money goes back to the filmmaker, supports local artists, which I think is something so fantastic.
yeah, that's, another great reason to buy tickets to the festival, because a little portion of those ticket sales will be going to the filmmakers, which is so great.
Yes.
Yeah. So we will be back at the same time next week. So join us then and keep an eye out. We're going to have more info about the films and about the festival. Also, we'll have Dorothy, the executive director of FCFF, joining us pretty much every day this week to give us everything we need to know about the festival. So don't miss it. She'll be live tomorrow, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Yes. Thanks so much for joining us today. It was fun. Bye.